Hello guys, today I'm going to talk to you about material development in language teaching. And it's me, David Santiago Pérez. Alright, so what is the agenda? We have what is teaching material, what are the considerations to make good teaching material, the principles to develop teaching material, the conclusion, and the references. So what is teaching material? It's any type of information that is being transmitted with the purpose of learning. That is any game, book, or activity that you can transmit and has a purpose to, to transmit some kind of learning. Now, what are the considerations to make a good teaching material? It's know your environment, assess your learners' needs, keep the material interesting, and follow the principles to develop good teaching material. I'm gonna talk to you about this last item right now because as you will see, it's full of very subtle items, and it's worth mentioning that some of them are really interesting, but some of them are also not so useful. So I have gathered the most useful for you guys, and all right, let's go. The principles to develop teaching material. The principles gathered by Thomason are a set of instructional guidelines to consider when preparing language learning material. Most of this can be traced back to Krashen's theory of language acquisition, and as such, the author extends these guidelines to fine philosophical details. One of those principles is this one that you see right here. It is materials should help developing confidence. And it means when it comes to learning languages, confidence can only be developed by making tasks that let learners progress in a linear sense, that is from 1 to 2. So easy tasks won't make them develop any confidence. Another of those purposes is this one. Materials should provide communicative purposes. And what is that? Language should be centered around its use and not its learning, at least when it comes to learning it as a foreign language, if we want learners to acquire it. That is, speaking it or understanding it. We should center around every communicative purpose of tasks. And finally, to conclude the principles of good teaching materials. Materials should help learners to feel at ease, and that is, materials are an opportunity to form a connection between the teacher, writer, and the learner. And teachers should encourage a connection that makes learners feel relaxed. This is possible through the voice, materials that aim to help and not test, and materials that are clearly trying to set a clear goal. Alright, so how can we conclude these principles into one main conclusion? And how can we make better materials, teaching materials? I believe it's important to know how language is acquired and how students can acquire that language. So my main conclusion for this presentation is that teachers should aim at let the learners acquire language and not learning it. Only focusing on acquire that language will actually let those students acquire that language, because we will not be focused on learning it or learning the grammar of it, but we will be focused on practice it in a communicative way. And only with this in mind we could have all sorts of materials and ideas to put into practice. All right, thank you so much for your attention. Goodbye.